Privilege of Parliament by Jonathan Swift. Now a new misfortune feels dreading to be laid by T.H. Heels. Never durst amuse before enter, that infernal door Cleo, stifled with the smell into spleen and vapours, fell by the Stygian steams that flew from the dire infectious crew. Not the stench of Lake Avernus could have more offended her nose, had she flown, but o'er the top she had felt her pinions drop. And by exhalations dire, though a goddess must expire. In a fright she crept away bravely, I resolved to stay. When I saw the keeper frown, tipping him with half a crown, now said I, we are a lone name, your heroes one by one. Who is that hell-featured brawler? Is it Satan no tease Waller? In what figure can a bard dress, Jack the grandson of Sir Hardress? Honest keeper, drive him further, in his looks are hell, and murther see the scowling visage drop, just as when he murdered Throp. Keeper, show me where to fix on the puppy pair of dicks, by their lantern jaws. And Leathern, you might swear they both are brethren. Dick Fitzbaker Dick, the player, old acquaintance, are you there? Dear companions, hug and kiss, toast Old Glorious in your piss. Tie them, keeper, in a tether, let them starve and stink together. Both are apt to be unruly. Lash them daily, lash them duly, though 'tis hopeless to reclaim them. Scorpions' rods perhaps may tame them. Keeper, yon old dotard smokes sweetly, snoring in his cloak, who as he tease humdrum win, half encompassed by his kin, there observe the tribe of Bingham, for he never fails to bring and that base apostate Vesey, with bishop's scraps grown fat and greasy, while Wynne sleeps the whole debate. They submissive round him wait, yet would gladly see the hunks in his grave, and search his trunk. See they gently twitch his coat, just to yawn, and give his vote, always firm in his vocation for the court against the nation. Those are Allen's Jack and Bob, first in every wicked job, son and brother to a queer brainsick brute they call a peer. We must give them better quarter, for their ancestor trod mortar, and at Hoath to boast his fame on a chimney cut his name. There sit Clements, Dilks, and Carter, who for hell would die a martyr. Such a triplet could you tell where to find on this side hell? Gallows, Carter, Dilks, and Clements, souse them in their own excrements. Every mischief's in their hearts, if they fail 'tis want of parts. Bless us, Morgan, art thou their man? Bless mine eyes, art thou the chairman? Chairman to yon damned committee. Yet I look on thee with pity. Dreadful sight, what learned Morgan metamorphosed to a gorgon, for thy horrid looks, I own half convert me to a stone. Hast thou been so long at school now, to turn a factious tool? Alma mater was thy mother, every young divine thy brother. Thou a disobedient varlet, treat thy mother like a harlot. Thou ungrateful to thy teachers, who are all grown reverend preachers. Morgan, would it not surprise one to turn thy nourishment to poison? When you walk among your books, they reproach you with their looks, bind them fast, or from their shelves they'll come down to write themselves Homer, Plutarch, Virgil, Flaccus, all in arms, prepare to Bacchus, soon repent, or put to slaughter every Greek and Roman author. Will you in your factions phrase send the clergy all to graze, and to make your project pass, leave them not a blade of grass? How I want the humorous Hogarths, thou I hear a pleasant rogue art. Were but you and I acquainted, every monster should be painted. You should try your graving tools on this odious group of fools. Draw the beasts, as I describe them, form their features, while I gibe them, draw them like, for I assure you, you will need no caricature, draw them, so that we may trace all the soul in every face. Keeper, I must now retire, you have done what I desire, but I feel my spirits spent with the noise, the sight, the scent. Pray be patient, you shall find half the best are still behind. You have hardly seen a score, I can show 200 more. Keeper, I have seen enough. Taking then a pinch of snuff, I concluded, looking round them, may their God, the devil, confound them. Footnote 1, St. Andrew's Church, close to the site of the Parliament House. Footnote 2, on a scrap of paper, containing the memorials respecting the Dean's family, there occur the following lines, apparently the rough draft of the passage, in the text making good that proverb, odd near the church, and far from God, against the church direct, is placed like it both in head and waist. Scott. Footnote 3 from the answer of the demoniac, that the devils which possessed him were legion St. Mark v. 9, W.E.B. Footnote 4 Sir Thomas Prendergast, a prominent opponent of the clergy and a servile supporter of the government. See the verses on Noisy Tom Ante, p. 260. Footnote 5 Die quibus imperium est animarum umbric silent sit, mihi fas, audita laquiverg, in Romans 6, 264. Footnote 6 Vestibulum ante ipsum primusc in fossibus, orsi luctus et ultrases, passura cubilia curi. Footnote 7 Discordia, demens viprium crinum vitis, in nexa cruntes. Footnote 8 Corrupit his subita trepidus strictamque, asim venientibus offert. Footnote 9 Et nidocticums tenus sine corpor vitisverg, in Romans 6, 291. Footnote 10 Et centum geminus briarius. Footnote 11 The Right Honourable Walter Carey, he was secretary to the Duke of Dorset when Lord Lieutenant of Ireland. The Duke of Dorset came to Ireland in 1731. Footnote 12 200 written by Swift in the margin Forster. Footnote 13 John Waller-esque member for the borough of Dongill. He was grandson to Sir Hardress Waller, one of the regicide judges, and who concurred with them in passing sentence on Charles Roman I. This Sir Hardress married the daughter and co-heir of John Dowdall of Limerick in Ireland, by which alliance he became so connected with the country that after the rebellion was over the family made it their residence Scot. Footnote 14 Rev. Roger Throp, whose death was said to have been occasioned by the persecution which he suffered from Waller. His case was published by his brother, and never answered, containing such a scene of petty vexatious persecutions, as is almost incredible, the cause being the refusal of Mr. Throp to compound for a compensation totally inadequate some of the rights of his living, which affected Waller's estate in 1739. A petition was presented to the House of Commons by his brother Robert Throp, gentleman, complaining of this persecution, and applying to Parliament for redress relative to the number of attachments granted by the King's Bench in favour of his deceased brother, and which could not be executed against the said Waller on account of the privilege of Parliament, etc. But this petition was rejected by the House. Nem. Khan, the Dean, seems to have employed his pen against Waller. See a letter from Mrs. Whiteway to Swift, Nov. 15, 1735, edit Scott, Roman 18p. W.I.B. Footnote 15 Richard Tigg, so called because descended from a baker who supplied Cromwell's army with bread Bettisworth, is termed the player from his pompous enunciation. Footnote 16 Right Honourable Owen Wynne, County of Sligo Owen Wynne, Eskborough, of Sligo John Wynne, Eskborough of Castlebar. Footnote 17 Sir John Bingham Bart, County of Mayo. His brother Henry Bingham sat in Parliament for some time for Castlebar. Footnote 18 John Allen represented the borough of Carrisfort. Robert Allen, the county of Wicklow. The former was son, and the latter brother to Joshua the 2nd Viscount. Allen hated and satirized by Swift under the name of Troilus, the ancestor of the Allens, as has been elsewhere noticed, was an architect in the latter end of Queen Elizabeth's reign, and was employed as such by many of the nobility, particularly Lord Howth. He settled in Ireland, and was afterwards consulted by Lord Stafford in some of his architectural plans. Scott. Footnote 19 There were then two Clements in Parliament. Brothers Nathaniel and Henry Michael O'Brien Dilks represented the borough of Castlemarty. He was Barrack Master General. Footnote 20 Dr. Marcus Antonius, which Swift calls his heathenish Christian name, Morgan, chairman to that committee to whom was referred the petition of the farmers, graziers, etc., against tithe agistment. On this petition, the House reported and agreed that it deserved the strongest support. Footnote 21 Whose hair consisted of snakes, and who turned all she looked upon to stone. W.E.B. Footnote 22 A suggestion that if the tithe of agistment were abolished, the clergy might be sent to graze. W.E.B. Footnote 23 On the margin of a broadside containing this poem is written by Swift, except the righteous 52, to whom immortal honours do take them Satan, as your do all, except the 52, Forster, probably the number of those who opposed the bill WEB.